That way I can redirect the fluid and it doesn't shoot all over the phone. Welcome back to Christina's Garage Gearhead in Training. Today I'm going to switch out the brake lines on my husband's 2005 Ford Escape. Yesterday we switched out the alternator, which was on the other side of the car, and we noticed that the brake lines were probably due to be swapped out. And yeah, let's see what trouble I can get myself into. We put the car on 2 jack stands, one on each side. I was able to take the wheel off of both of them, and since we're starting on this side, we turned the wheel, that way I have more access to the brake line. I got these from O'Reilly. They were able to look up my specific car and ordered me the part that goes to this. And I held it up, so this one goes into the caliper, this one goes up here. I held it up to make sure that it looks like it would be about the same length, and to kind of get an idea of what the orientation is and everything. And I have the bucket down here to catch any brake fluid as it comes out. The fluid that was in there, I put it into a different container to be disposed of separately, because I'm learning that you're supposed to dispose of things in a proper way and not mix fluids. I'm going to use, this one's really cool. I didn't realize that they're ones that wrapped more around rather than it has more contact points. And the top one was the 13, I think. Yeah, the top one was the 13, the bottom one was a 14 millimeter. I'm going to put my safety glasses on so I don't spray myself in the eye. Now I'm going to open up and close the top and the bottom to make sure that they do loosen up. And as I said before, I have the bucket below to capture any fluid that might come out. Did I use the right side? Yeah, that's 13. It's kind of hard to get this one up here because it's wrapped all the way around. Just have to kind of like get it underneath and lined up. I got it lined up a second ago. Do I have to switch it upside down, maybe? There we go. All right, so lefty loosey's this way. All right, that one came off, so I'm gonna close it again. And then in this side is the 14. And this is connected to the back of the caliper. Righty tighty, so lefty loosey is towards me. I'm doing it on the right point, right? Okay. Woof. Okay, well. All right, so now I was able to get both off. Pull the clips now. You had pliers for that, right? Rolled it, flip part, and then just pull it out. Wiggle, wiggle.
So I go more from like top down kind of thing.
Top down.
That, and then you wiggle it left to right, twist it in your hand.
Oh, okay.
And pull out at the same time.
Left to right. It's like a whole thing. Let me sit down for that. You can't see it from this angle, but there is a hole in the top. You know, actually, I'm going to show you guys before I take everything off. I'll show you like a little close up. All right, now I'm going to take those pliers. I'm going to take these pliers and work on wiggling this out, coming from the top of the clip, wiggling right and left and out. Trying not to yank it into my own face. Gosh, it really is snug in there, isn't it? Oof.
You can twist it a bit more.
Twist it a little bit more?
Yeah.
Okay.
Get it to move a bit, and as it's moving, it'll be easier to pull it out.
Oh. Oh, jeez. Gotta work on my grip strength a little bit. It is moving. It's coming out. It was much easier to put it back in. All right, so that's the clip. I'm gonna put it off to the side. And then the other one, it looks like you come from the bottom. Oh, it's a spring because it's angled and it's going, oh, because it's, got it. Since it's going, it has it angled down, when it's squished in there, it is pinching it so it doesn't move. Ugh, I'm like trying to wiggle it right to left, and it doesn't. Ugh. It's harder when it's coming from underneath. It was easier from above, I feel like. Oh. Whew. My forearms last night were super sore. I'm actually kind of bruised on my forearms from putting my hand underneath. Luckily, I have not got cut up yet, but I did bonk my head on the side view mirror of my truck when I was standing up. Oh. Okay, I got it kind of twisted and pulled out. Just working on getting it out as I twist it. Oh. Yeah, I might need your help on this one. Oof. Doesn't really want to budge. It's like that angle twist thing that you're able to get. He's definitely a lot more aggressive. He got in there and pulled it right out. Okay, now I'm going to take the whole thing off. Ooh.
Just keep it pressed down in the bracket, otherwise it could spin a little bit.
Oh, okay. So hold it with the right hand as I twist the left. Okay. And that makes sense as to why I loosened it up before, so that now I'm not in here trying to fighten it. Yeah, because it's already loose. All right, so he said to be fairly quick with this so that I'm not out here leaking fluid, because as fluid is coming out of here, it's coming out of the master cylinder and through the system. The biggest thing that I've been told is that you do not want air in the system at all, because that will be a bad thing. So while I'm doing this, I'm trying to do it quickly, but also if it takes me longer, making sure that I fill more brake fluid into the master cylinder. That way it doesn't get empty. Is this one of the things you can switch with your hand too?
You can spin it with your hand if you need to, if you feel it's loose enough.
Yeah. Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
Just let it fall. That's fine.
Let that
You
fall?
just pull up with the right hand.
And pull up. Pull up. Okay. Pull this out.
Down.
Down. Oh, down. Okay, because it comes up. Okay.
And then crack that one free again.
Okay. 14. 14, right? 14. Okay. It was lefty. Okay. Oop.
Spin the whole thing.
Okay, spin the whole thing. Where's that going? Okay, so spin. Oh, the whole thing spins. I feel it's like a carousel or something. Alrighty, so I'm gonna kind of leak that into there. I don't want to get it all over the place. And then put it off to the side on the cardboard. And then I'm gonna grab my new one. And then I twist the caliper part on first, right? Okay. All right. Right, caliper. Nope, wrong side. You're like, what? Okay, twist in this part first.
You can tighten that down too.
Okay, tighten it before. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. So it doesn't sweat. I use this one. Yeah. Okay, so this is the 14. I'm going to tighten it, and righty-tighties that direction. Okay. And how tight do you want it?
Firm enough that it doesn't leak, but not so firm you snap it off, because they're kind of soft.
Okay, so for me.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Oops. Okay. All right.
Now line up everything else.
All right, line it up and put it. So this down here and this down through.
Tabs on that. You gotta twist it.
Oh yeah, huh? Because so it's hard to. I'll show you on the other one, but there's some tabs here that.
So start the threads on the nut first before you, because it'll be twist the angle a little bit.
So.
You can push it down in a little further. Yeah. And now start it where it's still kind of loose.
Okay.
Just make sure it goes by hand.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so it started. Now I need to line it up.
Well, you can go until your finger tight stops.
Okay.
And then it's still going to have a slight wiggle room. You don't have to
Okay, so I'm tightening it.
and then just line it down in that bracket and you can put the clips back in.
Okay. Okay, finger tight. Now I have to, it's hard to tell from, I would have to get in there with the camera, which I'm not going to do since it's so greasy. Yeah, I see the slots. I just have to twist it a little bit to the left. It's slippery. Almost. There we go. Okay, so now I can tighten it. Oh yeah, that's what I have the rag for. I'm all wiping it on my pants essentially. Okay, so this one is the 13. What? That's just the clip first. Does it matter which one's which? They both look the same. Okay, so this one came.
You can honestly tighten everything down in any order you want. This is just how I would do it.
Okay.
Your little hammer and tap it back in there.
Okay, so forgot what it just went straight in, like, but it was kind of at an angle, wasn't it?
Yeah. As long as it goes all the way up in there and flush, you're fine.
Okay.
Be a little bit off orientation.
Hammer. Oh. Is it too tight then, or I'm just weak?
As long as it's down in the slot area.
Because
yeah, it's gonna be a
I
bit
put
firm.
it in, right? Did I break it? Nope. Oh man. I'm trying to do it so I'm not like flinging it. Like, I can't even tell if it's moving. I feel like I'm gonna smack myself. Or different parts of the car I'm not supposed to be smacking. Ah, dang it. I might need, yeah. The new ones are probably more springy, huh? What the? And I was hitting it harder than you were.
What happened is that because it was bowed, it was catching that bracket right
Oh, I didn't get it.
Push down on the clip a little bit.
Okay.
And it just slid right in.
User error. Okay, so
Same thing with
this
the other
one was up this way.
You gotta line that thing up in that. See how it's a little crooked? The slot's not perfect in that.
Oh.
Just grab the brake line.
Oh yeah, huh. Okay, so this one has notches on it too. So I need to twist this.
Not twist too much.
Okay, it's like.
If you do twist it the way you were to the right.
This way?
Because then that'll put keep that brake line tight to the
Okay. Oh, that's what you're saying. It's rounded because it kind of like encapsulates it.
It'd be easier to grab too for you.
Okay.
See how it's easier?
Yeah, it's turning easier now.
You just get it up in the slot.
Just gotta make sure I don't strip it, right? Oh, it's because the vice grips are now in the way. Okay, now it's up in there.
Now that clip.
And then put the clip up.
Exactly where it was, right?
Yeah, phoning a friend. Now I tighten.
Because you already tightened the one on the caliper.
Oh, okay. But it's not all the way tight.
It's not going to be all the way tight because it's going up against that tapered fitting.
Oh, okay. He was mentioning.
If it goes all the way tight, that means you probably didn't get a good crush on the taper part.
Oh.
So you do want it, yeah.
Okay, got it. So now I'm going to tighten the one at the top, which was the 13. And I want it to come towards me because I already got it hand tight. Okay, so now to do all the way tight, use this other one.
Just give it a little bit more.
And this has the 13 and the 14, and this one was the 13. It was a smaller one. So come from underneath and then up onto it. Okay, and then my way.
You don't want to go
Okay, so
Just tight enough that it doesn't leak.
because it feels like it still wants to go.
It shouldn't feel like it should stop like it did on the bigger bolts we did yesterday on the alternator.
Okay.
So what we do?
Should I wipe it?
Oh, see it drips a little bit still.
Yeah.
You want to go a little tighter.
So if I wipe it though, I'll be able to tell.
Yeah, or you can brake clean it.
Oh, O'Reilly brake cleaner. So I just spray it on the whole thing?
Yeah, not upside down though, because it'll empty the can as far as the aerosols.
I don't want to do that. Like that?
Just keep going until it's clean. All the paneling and yeah, it'll dry up because it's
So give it a couple seconds.
Yeah.
It's definitely aerosol-y.
You get lightheaded, yeah.
It's like don't. You're like woohoo! Don't drive right after doing this job.
Alright, so yeah, now you can go a little torque, and then when we bleed the brakes, you're gonna take a look at the lines and make sure that
To make sure it doesn't leak
they're not dripping.
or that it's not fresh.
But so that's why we use the brake cleaner on to make sure it's nice and clean. When we go to bleed them, that we can see what's going on.
Okay.
Yeah, it's moving that bracket now. It's getting pretty tight.
Okay, so leave it.
Yeah,
So that this doesn't twist.
Yep.
Because it went into those two notches, the last thing you want to do is to strip that too.
Well,
right?
yeah, and that little bracket's welded to the frame. You don't want to snap that off.
Oh yeah, don't want that. Did that, and then now we're gonna move on to how do I bleed it? This?
Yeah, pull it off.
Pull it off?
Yep. Twist and wiggle.
Twist and wiggle the squishy thing.
Yeah, if you need to, do like a little screwdriver underneath it and pop it off.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
So someone's gonna push the pedal a few times, build pressure in the system. Right, we're gonna let you know when the pedal's all the way down or I'm holding the pedal. You're gonna crack that loose. It's gonna squirt out, and you're gonna see a bunch of air. Once we do that a few times, because we're gonna repeat that process until there's no air.
So I do it while you're still on the pedal.
Yeah.
Okay. So what'd you call this again?
It's a bleeder screw.
All right, I uncovered the bleeder screw, and we're gonna figure out how to. Well, I'm gonna figure out. I've done it once on my truck. It's been a little while, and I haven't done it, so I don't remember. All right.
It's gonna shoot out this way, pretty far.
Okay, so I wonder here. Let me, because I do have a hose. I don't know if it's the right hose. All right, I don't know why I didn't think this all the way through. When I bled the brakes and exchanged the brake fluid on my 2006 Chevy. I didn't exchange the brake lines, but I did flush all the fluid out, and I had like this whole system because YouTube is awesome, and I was able to figure out what I could use to help bleed the brakes. And this time around, I didn't think that part through. This tube is not the right size. When I was searching, I was able to find a tube that went over this to seal it. I was able to like redirect it into a bottle and all this other stuff, but I found another tube for something else in my house, and it's too big, but I'm just gonna hold it over the top as Jeff pushes on the brake. That way I can redirect the fluid and it doesn't shoot all over the phone. So I'm gonna loosen it up first and kind of get ready to redirect it, and then he's going to, as soon as I loosen it up, is that when? Open it up and then close it?
Yeah, because it's gonna be real firm.
Okay, so righty tighty, lefty loosey. Ah, he wasn't kidding. Oh, geez. Geez Louise. He was body weight. Okay, all right, now it's loose, so tighten it up again. Okay, so tell me when to loosen it up. Now? Okay. Now? Okay, just a little bit, or? I see bubbles. I see some bubbles. Okay. Now it's closed? Yeah. Okay. It looked good. Okay. Yep. Open. Okay. Closed. And so that's why when you use the tube that's properly sized, you're really able to see whether there's bubbles. The way that I'm doing it, it's kind of hard to tell where there are bubbles because like I have to kind of look at the nozzle. I'm gonna try it one more time. Okay, it's tight. Okay, so open it. Did I tighten it too much that time? Ooh, geez. Okay, I don't see bubbles. Okay, before it releases too much pressure. Okay. Yep. Okay. Yep. So I want to tighten it. Okay. Okay, cool. So that was a little bit messier way to do it, but I actually am really happy I had this hose because it would have absolutely squirted all the way that direction. I am going to use the brake cleaner. I'm going to clean up all the sides. That way when we move on to, where'd the squishy top go? Here's the cover. Do I want to spray it first before putting the cover back on? Okay.
And then we can leave that off and make sure, like I said, when we're done, I'll just hold pressure and you can take a look and see if there's any kind of seepage or leaking. And
okay.
Then we can correct it.
Oh, don't want to turn that upside down.
The plastic, see how it's like on the left?
Here?
Down. How it's still kind of wet looking from before? That's still brake fluid.
Oh. Like that?
You let it dry and we come back, check it, make sure we got everything, and then.
Because it will look wet.
Yeah.
If I didn't. Yeah.
Right, and then anything that's still wet afterwards is brake fluid.
Okay, anything that's still wet afterwards is brake fluid. Okay.
So we can go and do the other side, and then we'll just, make sure it doesn't leak. I'll hold pressure, put all the wheels back on, take it for a drive, see what's going on.
Sweet.
Make sure it's good, make sure the pedal feels good. Pedal feels soft and spongy, then we still got air in the system, we need to do it again.
Cool. So I'm gonna go to the other side, repeat the same exact process, and then I'll be right back to go over the rest of it with you. We were able to successfully switch out the brake lines on the other side. Did the same thing with bleeding them out, and I'm trying to get the wheel back on. I did the brake cleaner, and then we did a test where Jeff put weight on. He pushed down on the, grabbing the, I'm missing one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He put his foot on the brake, and then I was able to check to make sure that there was no fluid coming out of the brake lines. I put the little rubber cap back on, and now I put the wheel back on the other one, and I figured since when we changed out the alternator, I didn't show you putting the tire back on. But it's really nice to be able to use my legs to put it on rather than my back. So I'm putting these hand tight. The car is still off the ground right now. I'm gonna hand tight these, and then I am gonna use the torque wrench, but I'm gonna use just like a regular wrench to hand tighten it before we put it down on the ground. And as soon as the weight of the car is back on the ground, then we're gonna use the same torque wrench that we used on the knuckle when we were putting the axle back in. So I'm just wiggling this around to make sure that the wheel is lined up with the, what is that, the caliper? No, the caliper is a little piece on the side. Is it the hub? What? What I'm attaching the hub. Okay, and this is still a little bit wiggly. The other side actually went a lot quicker since I knew what I was doing, and also the clips, for some reason I was able to get them out easier on the other side. This side, it took me forever to try to figure that out, but that's the cool thing about the more that you do something, the better you're gonna get at it. And I know that the more that I do these things, the more experience I'm going to get and the better I'm going to get at it. But it also helps having people that are very patient, willing to teach you. All right, so that feels hand tight. I'm going to go grab the wrench. And then you were saying when you tighten it, that you want to go across in a star pattern. That way you evenly tighten everything up. Oh, that one was a little bit loose, huh? Yeah, I was asking these questions about torque because I don't know, like, how do you know how much torque you're giving these bolts and whatnot, but having the torque wrench is very helpful for that. I'm going to start lowering it down, starting with the other side using the jack, and then I'm gonna use the torque wrench on the wheels. And then we're actually going to top off the transmission fluid. The transmission fluid is pretty easy to check. You want the car to be level, which our driveway is a little bit tilted. We're gonna turn the car around and use the dipstick for the transmission fluid to check those levels. We're gonna top that off and then take it for a drive. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and I'll see you next week.